The dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag fly. bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club forever will stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. But Chelsea forever will stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. I do hope you all can hear me. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. Once again, I do hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Morning Show on Chelsea Perspective. Hopefully, as the show progresses, more panelists will find time to join me so that you will get diversified opinions and not just listen to me waffle. But more importantly, I do hope you're doing well today. We're here to talk about Chelsea's home game against Copenhagen. We beat them 1-0, 3-1 on aggregate. It wasn't easy, and I think the manager's approach worked. Had we gone into that game, you could say, with the helter-skelter mindset, for lack of a more accurate language, there, chances are we'd lose that game. But yeah, we won. It doesn't have to be pretty. He's found a way to ensure we keep clean sheets and win games. Most importantly, what we have to do is just win. I don't care how we win. We don't have to like it. It's not a beauty contest, in my opinion. But despite the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We do have just one more like, but I think we can do a lot better. We can do a lot better than just one like. A total of 10 people watching, only one on YouTube. The rest are shared between Facebook and X, I know. What do we have here? And the Maya Forward, a big up to you too. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And please, if you can, if you see any of our members, community members, let them know. The Blue Morning Show as every day, as before, 3:30. Yep, 3:30 a.m. CST, and that should be around 8 a.m. 8:30 a.m. UK time, West Africa, in some countries in West Africa. I haven't done the proper calculations there. We signed Quenda out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm not sure I've heard this name before. Maybe I have, but didn't pay attention. But from what I've seen, and I have to be honest, just clips that I've watched, the kid, he had some magic in him. I don't know how they pulled that off. And I learned that also, what's his name? Manchester United manager wanted to sign him for Man U, and we were able to pull it off. Wow, that's and people are singing him praises on X, saying he's an excellent player. Hopefully he does well. I am not enjoying Maresca ball. If we play how we did yesterday, we get smashed. How do you know we're going to play like that? It was a strategy. Everything except the zero shots on target, of course, during the first half was on papers. They find again, just for instance, in the first leg, they played more. They employed a more a defensive approach to frustrate us, get us to come at them, and then hit us on a break. But we learned immediately that they changed the way they play. So we had to now employ a more cautious approach, not be in a hurry to score goals, and it worked. Same thing yesterday. We played with a cautious approach, balanced approach, if you prefer, and it worked. We didn't risk too much. I don't think it would have made sense to risk a lot. And in the second half, the manager made changes, and we became a much. We became a much better side after he made a few changes. Cole Palmer came in. Who else came in? Reece James. We played much better, created more chances, but didn't take our chances. Cole Palmer, you could argue, still lacking in confidence, but he's getting there gradually. You know, he's doing everything right except you could say hit the ball with conviction, if that makes sense. But that's why we keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. KDH played the game of his life with Chelsea Football Club, in my opinion. He did really well. The top-rated player on our side scored a beautiful goal. You could argue Messi-esque. Yeah, he was determined to put away to score that goal, and yeah, he did. Congratulations to him. Hopefully, and after that goal, he looked a different player for the rest of the game. He was defending, he was creating chances. There was one he created for Nkunku. Nkunku, just for me, I don't think he's with us in spirit. Yeah, we see him on the pitch, but I'd argue we see only his body on the pitch. But he he's he's left us. His spirit has left Chelsea Football Club last transfer window because that was an excellent opportunity. I mean, some people will come with the argument that it was a bit too high for him to control, but that wasn't a one-off thing. There's been occasions where chances were created for him where he didn't even he didn't. You can say his attempt to get to the ball or at the end of the cross or at the end of the pass did come across as him not being used not serious about doing something with the ball, if that makes sense. Yep, keep dropping the likes on the on the video, people. Just one like on YouTube. I'm quite sure probably a lot more, probably around two or so. But I don't want to refresh this. Let's see. We have a total of 17 people watching, but out of those 17 people, zero on YouTube. Wow. The rest shared between um, Facebook and X, but that's okay. The more we have to stream consistently to let our community members that we're back again every day, 3:30 a.m. CST. All right, I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee so I don't lose my voice. Mm. And as I've told you before, I make good coffee. And Namaya, remember I told you, as I've told you already, that I don't care if you if you're enjoying it or not, as long as we keep winning, that's all that matters. I think we've won 4 games in a row right now, haven't we? If that isn't the case, please do let me know. I think it is. Yeah, we've won 4 games in a row, which means we've turned things around. I know some people will bring up the argument. You can say measuring the strength of the teams we played in those 4 games. It doesn't matter. Um, when you're in, again, when you struggle as we did, you lose even to bottom table teams. But that hasn't happened. Just what for instance, last season we lost to teams that were fighting for relegation. Man City lost to some of the teams that if you had to bet, you'd bet on Man City mopping the stadium carpet with them. but that didn't happen. But despite we keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Yes, we still beg for likes. We're not a big account yet, so forgive us for begging for likes. So let's see what else do we have here. Let me open it. Yep, I'm gonna go like this. We'll cover two news items. I'll keep you busy with that to see if anybody, some of the panelists, did find time to join me on the panel, so you will get diversified opinion. This year, Enzo Maresca, quoting Enzo Maresca, says we have kept 3 clean sheets and 4 wins in our last 4 matches. Now we have the last effort on Sunday. Then after the international break, Nico and Nani will be back, and it's the final sprint to the end of the season. Here's the thing: I don't think we understand how well we've done. Like or hate Nani Madueke, um, he's done well for us since the start of the season. Nicholas Jackson also, I think people have realized that, yeah, the right argument should have been that Nicholas Jackson needs help and not sell Nicholas Jackson or he's not good enough. He has been one of our best players again since the start of the season. I get it, he's not perfect. And remember, he was never a striker, but we did sign him as a striker, and he so far he's done his best as a striker actually, and can only get better. But if we can sign a striker that's more of a traditional number 9 or stereotypical number 9, and play Nicholas Jackson as a second striker or even on the flanks, I think he'd do a lot better, and that will reduce significantly reduce the pressure on him, if that makes sense. But let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I don't know why I'm still staying just 1 like. I think that's not correct. Big up to you, to Mabas05. Quenda rejected Manchester United. Yeah, I think it'd be right to say that, since Amorim wanted to sign him for Manchester United, and he's chosen us. And how well do you know him? Educators. In all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, I knew nothing about him. Maybe I've heard about him before, but didn't quite pay attention. I had to do a bit of research after we signed him, and if you pay attention to what people are saying, even those that even the people that have been complaining that we've been signing kids, they're all singing him praises and are happy that we've signed him. Actually, big up to you too, educators. If you know him, good morning to you too. Always nice to see you here. I do hope you're doing well. And have you liked the video already? I'm guessing you have. I'm not sure why it's still showing just 1 like. Quenda is a good player. He can play as right wing, right midfield, right wing back. Wow, which he used to play under Amorim. And from what I've seen, and I have to be honest, from watching YouTube video clips, he's an excellent dribbler. He can be explosive. He comes across as a very confident player. Never shies away from taking on his man, irrespective of how many opposition players that are on him trying to get the ball off of him. I'm excited. I need to learn more about him. I need to see him play 90 minutes. I'm not just going to rely on what I've seen from watching YouTube clips of him dribbling people. I'm quite sure he's not perfect. No player is ever perfect, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we have here. A traditional striker like Osimhen, here's the thing. Being able to you could say being able to operate as a traditional number 9 or stereotypical number 9 doesn't mean Osimhen will be the perfect signing for us. But here's the thing, disclaimer: I'm not the manager. If he feels like he can get the best out of him, that's fine. But I've preached and I've explained 1,000 times why I think Osimhen is not. Again, I'm concerned that if we sign him, we may well experience the Lukaku Chelsea movie part 2. But that's a small opinion anyway. Chances I would sign him and he comes in, becomes the best striker in the Premier League and help us win trophies. I'm just speaking. You can say I've seen things as objectively as possible, and for his own sake, actually, I think he'd be better off not joining Chelsea if Maresca again is our manager. If we have Mourinho as a manager, I say get him. He make him one of the best strikers in the world. But Maresca, I think he prefers or the sort of number 9 capable of playing on the flank, on either flanks, dropping deep, participating in the play. Osimhen has played more, or can he's played as a traditional number 9 all his life. For me, and that's just my opinion, his overall ability on the ball a bit questionable. That's not me saying he's not technically gifted. He is, but I don't think I think he lacks a beat. He's not that sort of number 9 that you say capable of doing what Harry Kane can do. For instance, Harry Kane, if you deploy him as a 10, I guarantee he will create good chances for his strike for his teammates. He's excellent on the ball. He has excellent passing range. He has good vision. Osimhen for me doesn't have all those things that I've just mentioned, but that's just my opinion anyway. You have every right to see things otherwise. But let's see what else we have here. Quenda is a good player. I think I've read that also. What else do we have here? Chelsea Portuguese players equal to success. Really? Who else? We had right back. What's his name again? We've had the right back. The letter again transition to right back. Maybe I think he was a center back. Is it Paulo? Is that Ferreira? Ferreira? I can't quite remember. And then we have Diego Moreira. We also had Raul Mireles. Yep, Portuguese. A few of them I can't quite remember their names, but that's just by the way. We're not here. That's not what we're here to do. Let's see. And have it? Did Raul Mireles won the Champions League with us? Paulo, is it Ferreira? How do you say his last name? Did he win anything with us the Champions League also? I think I can't quite remember. Let's see. Mabas says even if Mourinho sided Cement, he would play him as a right back while packing the bus, just like how he used to play Eto, one of the best African strikers in Europe. You can say, yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know what to make of that statement, but chances are you're correct. But just by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. 21 people watching, 5 on YouTube. The rest is shared between Facebook and X, I'm guessing. But that's by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We move on from that one there. And we've addressed this report here, or comment, or maybe X post, whatever you want to call it, or however you see it. We'll look at this here. Breaking news that breaking according to transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano, and the report that reads a Chelsea agreed deal for Portuguese top talent Giovanni Quenda. I'm guessing that is pronounced Quenda. Quenda. Here we go. Medical done for Quenda after secret bleeds. Okay. He will join Chelsea in 2026. A club-to-club agreement completed with a Sporting, and Quenda said yes to Chelsea project and Enzo Maresca plans. That in part, for me, suggests that Maresca that he's spoken to the player himself, and yeah, and he's interested in being part of our squad, part of our project, maybe if that's how you prefer to define. Yeah, define it. So that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. It doesn't look like anybody here, anybody else has anything else to say about Quenda. I think I do my research, but I want to watch him play 19 minutes. I believe I've learned enough to from watching video clips to know the sort of player he is. A good winger, explosive, excellent dribbler. He's also a fine creator too. But let me not. I can't. I'm not going to bet my life on that because yeah, I'm going by what I've seen in the video clips that I've watched. But signs are that yeah, he's a good creator. He has good vision, good passing range, an intelligent player. More importantly, that's one of the first things I look for in a player is their intelligence, and I think he's an intelligent player. But once again, I'm gonna repeat myself. I want to see him play for 90 minutes before, yeah, concluding finally the sort of player that I believe he is. This, by the way, we beat Copenhagen 1-0 at home. Courtesy of an excellent goal from Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. There's a good player in there. I've always said that. For some reason, you could argue, yeah, I remember he was nursing an injury during preseason tour in the United States. Even after that, I think he did suffer a setback. Those two those two factors maybe they didn't help. So it took him a while to recover fully and became started training with the team. But I've always known there's a good player in there. At some point, he did come across as if he's again. It was going to take him a billion years to settle at Chelsea. Plays with what's the word that I'm using for? I'm looking for. Uh, Gosh, plays as if he's nervous. Yeah, maybe the pressure of being a Chelsea player was too much. It was a bit too much for him. But the signs are good. The signs are good. I didn't see that nervousness. I didn't see that nervousness in him yesterday, especially after he scored the goal. He looked a different player and finished the game well. Created a few chances. Was help. He did help defensively and all that. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 22 people watching, only 4 of those on YouTube. The rest probably, definitely shared between X and Facebook. This, by the way, Quenda, I need to see him more. Anything else here? Let's see what people are saying. The comments are under that post there from the transfer guru himself. This is to be good. Manchester United fans right now because yeah, they missed out on him. We heard that Amorim wanted to sign him for Manchester United, but he chose Chelsea over Manchester United, and that's good to hear. What else do we have here on the now? Wait, what? Okay, this is Lua Shone. Surprised that we're able to pull that one off. Um, Damn, that's crazy. Snatching kids in mid. I like this one. Jesus Christ, Chelsea fans. At- snatching kids at midnight. All right. What else do we have on the rate? For real. Oh, it's true. Wow. Yep. Anything else? Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Another player. Another player who will start in every big club in Spain. Okay. Wow, what a deal. Sancho will head back to Manchester United. Do I think that will happen? I honestly do not know what's going to happen. Yeah, because this kid he looks like the real deal. Anything else under there? Okay, I'm not reading this one. W T F F F F F and how many 5 or 4 question marks are there from nowhere, no links, no noise, no beating war. But boom, done deal 2026 signing. Wow. Yeah. I don't even know the position that they intend to use. Giovanni Quenda, left wing back, inverted left back, inverted right back, winger. That's a good comment there, but yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I wasn't too sure how to read that one. Why not sign more experienced players? As I've said, I don't know why people complain when we sign young players. For instance, we're not signing them all to come join the first team immediately. We're being proactive here. And I don't know how else I'm going to say this for people to understand. Things have changed. From a financial perspective, things in football have changed. Irrespective of how rich of a club you are, you cannot spend because you want to spend. There are limits to how much you can spend. There's FFP, there's PSR, and all that. So we're being proactive. And a lot of people, even if you like explain it to them 1,000 times, they will still not see it. But I'm happy we have a few. For instance, come next season, Andreas Santos will be playing for us. Yeah. And that's an example of what we're doing by why we're signing these young emerging talents, and some of them exceptional talents. It'd be right to argue that that's the case for some of them. For instance, Quenda, from what I've seen so far, I'd argue that he's an exceptional talent. Esther William, yeah, not all of them will work out, but these two that I've mentioned definitely did look like they will work out. Um, but that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes of the stream. The likes do go a long way. Oh, we snatched one the kid from Manchester United. Good job right there. Such a talent. I've seen some people say, yeah, if we're gonna sign kids, yeah, let that be the sort of kids we'll sign. A lot of people, because they know him, they knew him before we signed him, they're not complaining much. They're happy we signed him. But I'm quite sure some would just be happy with signing them because they've heard that Manchester United also wanted the kid, but the kid chose to join Chelsea Football Club. But that's, by the way, I think it's time we'll look at the numbers from our game last night. For some of you, it was evening for me when that game um, was played. So we beat them by 1 goal to nothing, 3-1 on aggregate, and we've progressed to the quarterfinal stage where we'll play. I think when I saw that club name, I haven't heard the name of that club for a while, but I remember the moment I saw the name, I remembered a former Nigerian international, or Rangers International, played for Rangers International, but I think made played once for the Super Eagles. Kenneth Zaibo. Yeah, I think his name is Kenneth Zaibo. I think so. He played for that particular club. What's the name of that club again? The club we'll play next is oof. Let me look at it here. But once I saw the name, I remembered Kenneth Zaibo because I liked Kenneth Zaibo at the time. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna check Chelsea schedule, and then the name of the club pops up. I will find out Chelsea schedule. But the truth remains, I haven't heard the name of that club for a while until, yeah, let's see. Yep, Legia Warsaw. Yep, I was a kid at the time when Kenny Zayiwa played for them. I think it was after he represented the Super Eagles. He played for them for a while. Yeah, Legia Warsaw. That's, by the way, let's see what else we have here. What Mabas is saying. He's saying, I don't know why Mourinho played Samuel Eto'o. What a player Eto'o was. At right back, this shows that Mourinho's style of play is boring and outdated, even though he's a Chelsea legend and we all love him. But his style of play accused the players. Mourinho is very, very unorthodox. Win at all costs. It doesn't matter how dirty. It doesn't have to be pretty. He just knows how to win. But he can entertain if he plays against an inferior team. He batters them. But against a much better side, he doesn't risk it. He just does whatever he needs to do to get a win. Some people like that actually, but at some point, I think Chelsea fans actually got tired of his approach. Same way they got tired of Antonio Conte's approach. Yeah, it's good that Quenda said no to Manchester United. He would have ruined his career at Manchester United and would become a top 10 forward, won the keys. He would run his career, ruin his career like Oberton, Bebe. Was it the guy that joined United with Nani? Is this Nani? I can't quite remember his name. The Portuguese international, etc. Yeah, I realized that was what you wanted to type there. All right. Yeah, I like to read comments actually to hear what Chelsea fans have to say. Okay, Copenhagen, we beat them. Let's look at what the numbers tell us. Here's something else I want to talk about quickly. A lot of people were complaining that the game was boring. It was on papers. The way we played was on papers. The only thing that, wasn't on papers was the fact that we finished the first half with 0 shots on target. But here's the thing. Uh, what do you expect? We made that many changes. And the people we had on the pitch before the manager made the changes he made in the second half, you should know that it was going to be difficult for us to create that many chances. It's actually it's common sense, really. But after the first half, a lot of people, again, I just don't understand. Um, for them, that was reason enough to start blaming the manager that the setup was the issue in the first half. In my opinion, the setup was never the issue. The issue was that we made, I think, as many as 5 changes or so, and Cole Palmer wasn't on the pitch. Even though he hadn't scored, even though he hasn't scored for a while, he's one of our best creators. It's as simple as that, and he does. Enzo Fernandez seems to do better whenever Cole Palmer is on the pitch. So Cole Palmer wasn't on the pitch. Kunku wasn't on the pitch. Who else wasn't on the pitch? So yeah, I wasn't shocked that we finished half without a single shot on target. But unfortunately, people only see football on a surface level and don't look beyond results. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it wasn't going to be pretty. I knew we'd beat them. The only thing I got wrong was that I thought that we're definitely going to concede, but we didn't. Overall, the manager knew exactly what he was doing. It was a controlled performance in the sense that we didn't want to risk too much because the truth remains Copenhagen, they're very potent in attack, actually. So our approach, you could argue, stifled them. Just like what the manager did in the first leg, where they changed the way they're known to play to surprise us, and the manager realized immediately that they did that, and then also played with a cautious, then employed a cautious approach. We didn't risk too much, and had we done that, played our usual way of always looking to attack and not be and not play with a balance, a good balance of defense and attack. Chances are, yeah, we could have lost that first leg and then be in a very, very tight position and maybe not be able to beat them at home. But unfortunately, people don't see beyond results in football. I understood why it was necessary to play with a balanced approach, why it was necessary not to start some of the players that was on the bench and then bring them on if the starting players don't do well enough, get us goal or something like that. And it worked out. Overall, once again, it was uh it was a controlled performance in my opinion. We didn't risk too much. But that's by the way. Let's see what else do we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We have a total of 25 people watching, only 5 on YouTube. Then 19 shared between Facebook and X. Please, if you're following the show on Facebook, uh, do us a favor, take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Sent in to you if you're following the show on X. And also because Conte didn't get the players he wanted, players like Virgil van Dijk, Lukaku, Edin Dzeko, Alexandro. Even that again, Conte, I don't know if it makes sense. If it makes sense to say, for me, is overly pragmatic for me. He doesn't differ that much from Jose Mourinho. He's into doing whatever it takes to win. But I take him over Mourinho. But the two of them actually, for me, in the case of Mourinho, it's simple. It's not progressive enough, in my opinion. But I don't want to talk about both that much. And we have the Demonat says, how did Sanchez get his number one job back? So frustrating. Here's the thing. It just seems as if, for me, irrespective of the fact that the manager he said that we have 2 good goalkeepers, I think the signs are that he trusts Robert Sanchez more than he trusts Philip Jorgensen. And that's what I make of the situation. Jorgensen, for me, he's better on the ball, more calm on the ball, doesn't panic. Doesn't what's the language I'm looking for? Doesn't suffer lapses in in concentration during games. It's just like Robert Sanchez does. You can say Sanchez averages one mistake per game. And in the last game, actually, he played, he made a mistake early minutes into the game that could have led to us conceding goals, but we were lucky not to have conceded from that mistake. But despite the way his thing, sometimes he makes the sort of save that you'd never bet on him saving, yeah, making, so to speak. And then the next minute, he just passes the ball to an opponent as if he's begging them to score against us. So I'm not sure what to make of the goalkeeping situation. Um, I don't. I've heard people argue that Sanchez will eventually be sold. I don't know whether that's going to happen. But for me, I think we have a better goalkeeper in Philip Jorgensen. Maybe he's the least experienced of the two goalkeepers, but he looks more comfortable on the ball. You can say, you could argue, reads the game better and he's improved. And I've told people all he needs is just to play more. The more he plays, the more we realize that he's actually the better goalkeeper of the two. But that's just my opinion anyway. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have 28 people watching, 6 of those on YouTube, 22 of those most definitely shared between um, X and Facebook. If you're following the show on Facebook, if you don't mind, come join us on YouTube. We'd really appreciate that. And if you're following the show, please take a second, drop a like on the stream. And if you are watching, I'll be answering a lot of your questions. And here's the thing: if I don't know, if I don't have an answer to the question you ask, I'll pretend I don't see it or just skip it. I'm kidding. I'll do my best. Let's see. Um, I don't think Petrovic is better than Jorgensen. I don't think so. That's my opinion anyway. But I think he's good. I take him over Sanchez, but I don't think I take him over than Jorgensen. Maybe numbers say otherwise, but I haven't actually taken my time to compare them and take my time to look at their numbers and see who's the better of the two goalkeepers. Let's see. Conte is he's not. He definitely isn't a yes man. But his thing, there's a pattern to his behavior at every club he's coached. Um, it doesn't take a lot for him to lose his shit, and when that happens, he doesn't stop talking. Says a lot of shit. I don't like him for that. It happened at Tottenham. I think it happened at Inter Milan. And still things he could say still rosy at Napoli for him at the moment. But here's the thing: I don't know how he and what's his name, De Laurentiis, how they've been able to you could say coexist in a single, because De Laurentiis himself is hot headed. Um, that's one man that I don't like Chelsea to deal with. So if you have any questions, drop in the chat before we start looking at the numbers. Chelsea fans were tired of Conte's approach during 17-18 season because he refused to change his tactics and he kept playing with 3 at the back. And also against Manchester City, I think that game against Manchester City was the last little load that broke the camel's back. It was embarrassing. We didn't even try to play. They mopped, I think it was Etihad. They mopped the Etihad carpet with our players. Conte is the pragmatic version of Tuchel, but he never lasts more than 3 years at every club he's managed. You can say that's something he has in common with Jose Mourinho. Mourinho at most stays 3 years um, at each of the clubs he's coached before. I'm not counting anyway, but I think we've talked about that here before actually. So that's, by the way, if you have any questions, drop it and I'll try to answer it. 32 people watching, 9 on YouTube, and the rest on the X are shared between the rest are shared between X and Facebook. So if you're following the show on X, do us a favor, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. On Facebook, please do the same. And if you're watching, tell our community members that the Blue Morning Show is back. All right, we'll be streaming consistently at this time every day, which is 3:30 a.m. CST. So how did the game finish? yeah, that goal by Dewsbury-Hall was beautiful. He was determined. He, even though he lost his balance, I think you could argue. I thought he was gonna actually fall and lose the ball, but he didn't. He continued, weaved his way through about, I think, about three defenders, at least three defenders, or around four, and placed it nicely, and yeah, and finished the game. A different player, in my opinion. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. I'll try to address it. Shay Wendy 44445. Big up coach. I think the Enzo Maresca is the one making the decision when it comes to keeps on some of the players. Here's the thing. He's not a yes man, but unfortunately, a lot of Chelsea fans will die on that hill telling you he is. Because of their belief that the reason Thomas Tuchel was let go because yeah he's not a yes man, and that belief that the reason we didn't hire Luis Enrique because yeah he's not a yes man, and all the reason we let was the guy from Leipzig, was it the SD, the reason we let him go was that yeah he's not a yes man. So but I don't think he is. He's a very principled individual, and it's a good thing he said 1,000 times that whatever, again, he makes the final decision on who stays and or who leaves. And also we've heard also that we're already making plans on what players to try to bring in the summer, and he's leading that. But unfortunately, as I said, Chelsea fans will die on that hill for reasons I've explained, which to a certain extent does make sense. Okay, what am I looking at here? All right, let's hear you. Let's look at the numbers here. We finished the game, ball possession 54 to theirs 46, expected goals 1.13 to theirs 0.97. You could say in most cases, the difference, the disparity in XG is usually a sign, you could say, indicates what you could argue, look at that and say, yeah, whether it was a deserved win or not, or whether the other team was unlucky. But in this case, I think this shows it's reflective of the fact that yeah, it was a deserved win for us. Total shots 11 shots, and to theirs 10. That's a high. Big chances 2 apiece. Hmm, okay. What else do we have here? Anything interesting? Let me see where we have more of the numbers. So look at the player ratings here. Josh Achimpong started the application. He invited actually, but something that Chelsea fans do uh, that I don't like. For instance, here with again, if you've been following our games since the arrival of Enzo Maresca, you'd know that the 4-2-3-1 structure is just a starting point. I mean, you can call it that. So that's why usually during pre-game shows or during post-game shows, we call it the starting structure because the application is different. It's really common sense. It's really lack of, you can say, people don't pay attention. I've seen people, once they see this structure, they start complaining that certain players are that certain players are being played out of position, just like a lot of Chelsea fans did under Thomas Tuchel when he had uh again in a structure. I think it was it a 2-4-2, no, in a three at the back structure, 3-4-2-1, something like that, or 3-4-1-2, it depends. I think usually under Thomas Tuchel it was 3-4-2-1, and then he'd have either Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the right wing back position, or Christian Pulisic, and Chelsea fans will lose their shit saying he's playing him out of position, not paying attention to the application. I get it because he's deployed on that right hand side. When we're defending, he's expected to drop deep and support our defensive and participate in our defensive efforts. But my point is this: people, when you see this, just look at it. We have, you could argue, 5 center backs. It's common sense to know that definitely we're going to play with 3, with a 3 at the back approach, or three at the back structure with Trevor Chalobah playing again operating as right centre back, Tosin staying centrally and leading the back line, Badiashile playing as again as left centre back, and then Josh Archibald inverted. While Enzo Fernandez moves further forward as one of the two tens. But unfortunately, once they see that, it just seems to see if they're looking for a reason to start whining, complaining, players being played out of positions, yada, yada, yada. Pay attention to the application first. It's really that simple. But unfortunately, the average football fan, in most cases, don't see football, don't see it, just see football on a surface level. They don't see it beyond results. Yeah, but I mean, it was a good game plan, and it worked. And honestly, I wouldn't. It worked. I get it. We finished the first half with 0 shots, but yeah, what do you expect with the amount of changes the manager made, plus the players we had on the pitch? No, we don't have anything close to a number 9. We didn't have anything close to a number 9 on the pitch at the for that first half. But that's by the way, we move on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. 28 people watching, 5 on YouTube, the rest on X and Facebook. And if you're following the show on X or Facebook, come join us because we started the Blue Morning Show. We usually do a monthly giveaway for our members who are students. So we will restart that again. We've given away close to $400 actually to support students. Yeah. At least we usually make it at least a $50. Two things: we will still do a show for our departed member. May he still continue to rest in peace. And Roger Dodger will do a show on his behalf. It wasn't easy to coordinate that because I was still struggling after moving across the states and had issues with my with our property arriving on time, some missing and all that. But that's, by the way, I'm not here to bore you with that. And I remember promising to do something for the community after the birth of my daughter, and that's getting to a year. We still do that, but more importantly, let the community know that the Blue Morning Show is back every day. The Blue Morning Show is back every day, 3:30 a.m. Yep, CST. And we have Mario the Rapper. My bro, nice to see you out. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. You're a member of the panelist group, so whenever you have time, you can always join. Maya here says, big up, great to see you again, bro. We're back. It will take a while before our members know that we're back. We'll be streaming on a daily basis. So please, if you see any member of the community, do let them know that we're back. And Marlet Saint Pencil Art says, basketball is boring. It looks like textbook football, predictable approach, every game, predictable pattern. I disagree. And if you don't mind, I beg to disagree. And I'm going to explain this. I think the biggest lie I've heard, I'm not saying you're a liar. We're having a conversation here, or you could call it a debate if you prefer. The biggest lie I've heard is that Maresca is one-dimensional and predictable. I'd say no. That's not the case. We've played with 4-1-4-1. We've played with a 3 at the back. We've played with 4 at the back. We've played with the fullbacks operating as traditional fullbacks. No inverting, nothing. Yeah, in all honesty. Because we started struggling, it was easy to say that his approach is very predictable. I say it's a lie. Honestly, go ask another person or take your time to check how we played games. Usually, if you use FOTMOB, usually after each game, they adjust the structure used to usually they show 4-2-3-1, but after the game they usually adjust it to the proper structure we use. In all honesty, bro, no, we're not predictable. It's just that the only thing that is predictable, in all honesty, is that we try to keep the ball, and the opposition team, they know that. Just like what Pep did against us, I think it was at the breach. He knows Maresca. He knows Maresca doesn't compromise his approach. He knows Maresca would want us to play out from the back, and they capitalized on that. I think it led to us making 2 mistakes, or at least 1 mistake that led to us conceding. That's it. At most two. One thing also you could say that is predictable, but yeah, not really that predictable, is that we like to invert fullbacks. It depends. We don't do that all the time. And if we do that and we see that you're exploiting the spaces on the flanks, he usually makes again he usually changes things so we don't risk conceding, if that makes sense. So I disagree. Our approach is unpredictable. Here's the thing: even at that, even though you see it again, see Maresca's approach as predictable, to an extent it is. Two things only that I've mentioned. We like to play out from the back. We like to invert midfielders, fullbacks, to overload areas, to give us a numerical advantage, if that makes sense. And that is his thing. You could argue he is idealistic. He is idealistic, so to speak. Yes, he is. But the truth remains, what we're trying to do would take time to, you could say, what's the language I'm looking for? Would take time to materialize properly. And if we get to an extent where you know exactly what we're going to do as a team, but there's nothing you can do about it. Just like a Pep Guardiola from the 4 or 5 seasons ago till now that they're struggling. Yeah, it's about perfecting it. And once we perfect it, you'd know we'd like to play out for the back. You'd know that we invite full backs. But even when that happens, the three guys at the back, it depends. Stretches, one central, one covering the flanks where the fullback has left. The only time we struggle with that approach is that when Rhys James, I think who was that? When the remaining the center backs don't make adjustments to cover the space that the fullback leaves behind, and it's something that with time they learn to cover that automatically without being actually yelled at or reminded to do so. So I'm gonna go back to letting you know, in my opinion, the biggest lie that I've heard on X or within the Chelsea community is that our approach is way too predictable. No, the one thing that is predictable right now, and is the reason we suffered in most cases with conceded goals, again in some cases, is because we want to play out from the back, and we don't compromise that. And the only way to get used to it and perfect it is to keep doing it. And sometimes I've seen occasions where the manager actually didn't want to risk too much of that, in my opinion. But I get your point. And yeah, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. I disagree with what people are saying about Maresca ball. Because yeah, when we had Madrick Jackson and Neto, we were cooking. And see how we started the season. And then honestly, we started the season again. How do I say this to correctly reflect the way we played at the start of the season? We were firing on all cylinders. Yeah. But at the time, the truth remains we were also conceding a lot of goals, which the manager, he noticed that and had to make a few changes there. We started conceding less, but we weren't scoring much. And then he had to tweak things again. So as we again, in fact, I know I've heard people say we're regressing. No, we're actually making progress. He's corrected things, but the truth remains, once he makes one correction, it just seems as if that leads to something else becoming an issue. But in this case, what we're seeing is lack of us having anything close to a natural striker. It has led to us playing with the fluid approach. Even when we had Nicholas Jackson and Mark Gui, we still did play with a fluid approach, but they do make a difference because they have that striker instinct, which makes you can say, which you could argue, or you could call it the icing on the cake when you employ a fluid approach, but you have someone on the pitch like Nicholas Jackson or Mark Gui that have a striker's instinct. It makes a difference, if that makes sense. So thank you so much for saying that. A lot of people don't see that. Yeah, exactly. So let's see what else we have here. My only problem with Maresca is that he has his favorite Madrid Coco Sanchez, and no matter how bad they are undroppable. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that suggests that's the case. In my opinion, I need more time. I don't have enough sample size. He's slow with subs changes. I don't like it when managers wait until the 70th minute. Here's the thing. I'm gonna round off that's answering your question by saying most important thing, yeah, we're winning games. I told Nemaya when the show started, it doesn't matter if you think Moresca ball is boring or not. It got us a result, and I'm gonna say this: if you missed it when I said it, when here's the thing: the approach was deliberate. The only thing, of course, that wasn't deliberate was the zero shots on target for the entirety of the first half. And yeah, there are reasons. After making 5 changes and not having anything close to, you can say, a stereotypical number 9 or traditional striker on the pitch, yeah, and the lack of experience, enough experience on the pitch, yeah. And we knew we had enough firepower on the bench, and I think it was Dante that did talk about how he suspects Maresca will start with those kids, and then if things don't work out, he'd make changes. And the moment we make changes, you see how much our play changed. We started creating a lot of chances. Had it not been that Cole Palmer is out of form, he could have scored 2. Yeah. But despite, well, let's see what else we have here. No matter how we can change the set of formation, it's the same pattern of attack defense that that's where I can't say this word here. Predictability comes in. No variation of play. I still don't agree. I still don't agree. Okay, tactical coaches adapt way better than what you say, coach. Okay, I mean you're entitled to your opinion. For me, I disagree. I think we've played again with multiple approaches, not the same. There are things that are, you could say, that the basics that define his approach. They're there. We have missed the second most chances in the league, and you can blame that on the manager. Yeah. The directors have failed in Maresca. We should have gotten a striker, but we didn't know that we were going to lose 2 strikers in a single game. Maresca's adaptation is shallow. It's basic adaptation. If you watched Enrique a few days ago, he adapted several ways, which Maresca doesn't. That's why I say it's like a textbook football. Okay, if you believe that's the case, but I beg to differ. Big up to you. I have Bobby in the house. Bobby, I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you once again. As you know, the Blue Morning Show is back. We'll be streaming every day, the same time, 3:30 a.m. CST. I think that's around 8:30 a.m. your time. But Bobby, welcome to the panel. What do you make of that performance yesterday? And your brother, your cousin, scored a beautiful goal and finished the season, finished the game looking like a different player. Uh, and if you remember, I've always told you that's a good player in him. Maybe the pressure of playing for Chelsea Football Club got to him, and whenever he's on the pitch, he did before yesterday. He did come across as a bit nervous, not even looking comfortable controlling the ball and all that. But Bobby, whenever you're ready to speak your thoughts on the game, we can finish that conversation as soon as possible. Still have about 29 minutes before I call it a day. But Bobby, big up.
Yeah, big up, coach. Big up. Yeah, I mean, first of all, talking about your man, I will always give a player their flowers where I see it. Yes, he scored a goal like a midfielder should. His performance, especially in the second half, was improved. He was linking up
Defensively,
well with
everywhere.
I think defensively he can still do better. Offensively, he was linking up well with Palmer. And it was an improved performance in an overall terrible performance. There's nothing about that performance yesterday in general that should give anybody any reason to feel happy.
Mhm.
Um, Players win games. It's as simple as that. Football is not a complicated sport. If you have the good players, you win the games. You don't weaken yourself in January and leave yourself playing with children and expect to rip up trees. This season Chelsea have been top 4 and up until December were top 2. That says a lot as to the progress and to the ability of the squad. What you do at the beginning of the season is that you have your squad. You have your squad, including squad depth, and you keep that squad until the end of the season. You don't in January suddenly decide, oh, this guy, I think I'll send him here, this one, I'll send him there. And you don't replenish in any way, shape, or form. And then you rely on little kids. I mean, this is just not younger kids than you have already, which means we're dealing with fetuses. We're having 17-year-olds now.
Mm,
You
mm.
know,
Bless his
people
heart.
just
Bless his heart. Bless his heart.
Antwi just turned 17, which means he's basically a senior 16-year-old. So this is what we're doing. You know, you watch Chelsea's squad depth, and then you look at people like the Real Madrid, the Atletico Madrid game, which I watched certainly from the second half. And it's chalk and cheese. You know, you have people, you don't have a squad that is heavily reliant on chronically injured players, deplenished, and you know that during the course of the season you'll pick up injuries, you have suspensions, you have these things. You keep your squad and you hold fast. I don't know what it is about Chelsea where they seek to weaken. I can't understand that mentality. Certainly, I looked at the old, because it was his birthday, I was looking at some of the old videos of Drogba scoring and the kind of team we had those days. You know, big, strong guys, strength in depth everywhere. This is what a winning formula is. So whether we like it or not, whether we have all these unnecessary empathies for specific players that are played damn well and under contract. Oh, this player has to go and strengthen somebody else. That's not the way. We have to keep our squad, and I pray and
Here's the
hope.
thing, Bobby, if you don't mind. Quickly. For instance, in the case of Joao Felix, he pushed to leave. And Maresca did say during the presser, he didn't want him to leave. We want to keep him. He's doing well. We like him. He said the same thing
Yeah,
about Renato Vega, who we signed as a left back, but he wanted
yeah,
to
yeah.
go elsewhere to go play as a centre back. So, in
Eh,
my here's the thing, I don't really blame the club for letting those two players go,
no,
in my opinion.
there are two things there.
And you heard, did you read the public statement that Joao Felix made, that he pushed to leave Chelsea and he wants to
Yeah.
remain in AC Milan? But look at it now. They're gonna send him back. They don't even want him.
There are two things there. João Felix may be a little bit of an outlier because he has problems everywhere he goes, even Barcelona,
I mean,
everywhere.
that's
But but
that's a pattern there, yeah.
but that aside, you know, he was brought into Chelsea. He took a wage cut. You know, you manage your players. I don't think it was acceptable at times, especially Renato Vega, when Colwell was either struggling with injury or out of form. I think he should have played him.
I
I
agree.
really do. I
I agree.
think that was a mismanagement on the part of Maresca. If you had shown, after all, Vega's only 21 years old. If you had shown him that you have interest in him being a part of the squad and he has a future, he wouldn't have complained. If you had given him game time here and there in the Premier League, he wouldn't have complained. And there was ample opportunity to do that. He was, with all the issues we had with Lavia, he would have very, very easily been that DM sort of position. He's capable of that, and he would have done it happily. And we need that level of physicality. In terms of Cesare Casadei, you could have waited till the summer, you know, and got a good deal going. You know, he's a kid. He should be a squad player anyway at this level. And if eventually he does want to leave, you do it at a time where you can bring in reinforcements. So I don't buy. I just hope that the sporting directors will learn from this. I hope so. I don't. You know, you don't do this.
I think they
You,
will. I think
you,
they
you
will. And
You don't do the.
yeah,
Look at the currently better teams out there. They don't do this. They don't do this. The team that Real Madrid had at the beginning of the season is what they've got now, plus maybe one or two here and there. They're bringing Endrick, who doesn't get a sniff, comes on for like the last 2 minutes of the game against Atletico Madrid.
mhm.
They hold fast. Endrick isn't happy, but they tell him, boy, you know where you are. This is what we need you to do. You will sit on that bench until we decide to play for you. If by the next season, the summer, you don't like our plans, we can then have another conversation. So he spent all season on the bench. Why is Chelsea behaving like a mediocre selling club? To me, that's not acceptable, to be honest.
Here's
Um,
why I disagree with you respectively. You know that I don't. I'm not for a manager keeping players that push to leave. Once he gets to pushing to leave, which Joao Felix made clear, he did push to leave, and actually say something that suggests he doesn't want to come back. But I'm glad in the contract we had something that that we want him back for the Club World Cup. I think the same thing with Renato Viega. But here's the thing. I still, as much as I like Moresca, I think you've heard me talk about how I think that he had the opportunity to create a healthy competition between Joao Felix and Cole Palmer. And I
yeah,
did argue also that had he done that, chances are Cole Palmer would still be firing in all cylinders because
yeah,
he had a competition. But he didn't do that. I fault him for that. But I still like
yeah,
him. I still think he's the right guy for the job. I still think he's tactically sound to lead us to the you can say where we want to be as a club, but he missed that opportunity. Even Levi Colwell, I agree with you. I do see Renato Vega as a much better a centre back than Levi Colwell, in my
yeah,
opinion. Maybe Levi
yeah,
Colwell definitely better in terms of his passing range, but Renato Vega, he has the physicality, he has the attitude. Reads the game very well too. We can see that at Juventus. He joined
yeah,
them. They didn't lose games until he got injured, and
yeah.
that's no coincidence. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I
mean,
get your point.
this is the thing. I echo that exactly. I think Maresca can sometimes be overtly stuck in his ways. You have a squad, you have to use your squad, and you have to motivate your squad. That is football. Period. Not everybody is going to be happy. There are players that will be thinking they're all that and they need even more time than they get. But
But at least
it's
balance it.
about the team. Yeah, give them a few minutes
Yeah,
here and there, and if they sit there pouting and sulking, you have to tell them where they are, until the summer of the next season. And this is where, as far as I'm concerned, he has failed.
yeah.
Now he's hoping and
In terms of
praying.
player management, I'd vote that he failed in that aspect.
Yeah.
And then
Now
managing game time between players. So to be more specific, yeah, before somebody reads that the wrong way. Yeah, go ahead.
N- Now he's hoping and praying that he gets injuries back. Relying on players that are coming back from injury. Yet again, you have to find match fitness and all that. It's all very weak. I didn't enjoy yesterday because we looked weak. We
I,
had children there.
honestly, Bobby, here's the thing. If you remember the first leg, I didn't need him to tell me that it was the approach, the you could say the perceived lethargic approach or too slow approach was on papers. It was a controlled performance, not to risk too much. And the Copenhagen, they have a very potent attack, but we were able to stifle them. They had opportunities, and had we gone that into that game, the first leg, the way we usually play, risk a lot going forward, chances are that we could have lost that game. And in the second leg, I expected it to be like that. But the good thing we had the big guns, you can call them that, all best players on on the bench that he brought on in the second half, and see how that changed the game. When I saw the lineup, I knew it wasn't gonna be pretty. But for me, I think he did well in terms of approach. we're winning. It doesn't matter to me if we, even if it look, if we go to what's the Arsenal Stadium again? What's it called? If we go,
Etihad
is it no that's
to
Etihad,
Emirates.
Emirates. If we get to go to Emirates and beat them, I don't care how ugly it looked, and I think he's starting to show he doesn't. It doesn't matter to him whether he looks ugly or not. He just wants a result. And at this stage in the season,
Yeah,
every point counts.
coach, there's
Yeah.
winning ugly and there's winning lucky. The chances Copenhagen had, Arsenal are not going to miss. You can't be giving up. Winning ugly is the kind of thing Mourinho would do. He would score one goal and lock up shop, and you can't penetrate his defense.
Mhm.
That's winning ugly. Winning lucky is the kind of thing we did last night. You score a goal because the opposition is so inferior, they fluff a lot of opportunities that they have.
I
Um,
don't think the game will be as bad as against Arsenal. I don't think so. Do I think we'd concede
well,
against Arsenal?
we
Probably. But we'll
we
start our best players from the start to the finish on
Well,
that
we
day.
have to. We have
Yeah.
to. Whoever
So
they are, we have to, because let me tell you, they're not going to, they're playing for something. They're not, and they've rested players midweek. They did, I don't know what they fielded against PSV, but it was nowhere near what they're going to field on Sunday. So we have to put out the best we have, and now this is where the stupidity comes in, because there was we had some squad depth at the start of the season. We had squad depth such that Arsenal came to Stamford Bridge and they were lucky to get away with a 1-1 draw. People say, oh, that last minute miss they had. Well, that was, look at the time as we hit the post.
mhm.
They were lucky to get away with a 1-1 draw because we had squad depth. We had players that could come in and give them a bloody nose. Now we're struggling. But
I
let's
totally
see.
understand your point. Go ahead, Bobby.
Let's see what happens. But I hate this idea that Chelsea always try to covet a position of weakness. I don't do weakness kindly. As I said yesterday, Achipong, yes, I love him. I think he's a wonderful up and coming player. But you could see he was just that, an up and coming player. They played him. I think he even played left back a bit,
But
and
he inverted mainly. He does
he
his job
inverted. Yeah,
was to,
but
overload areas to create a numerical advantage for us.
sometimes he was getting done. Tyreek George, very very talented player, but you could
I
see
think he's become a
these.
permanent part of the team, in my opinion. Tariq
Well,
Judge.
he has to, because
Yeah.
Noni's not there. But you could see he needs more, better players and more maturity around him. The number of times he gives away the ball, gets shoved off the ball, is a testimony to his age. The no striker situation isn't even worth talking about, because we know that is always a gaping hole. And I was sick and tired. I mean, when I saw Chalobah limping after a collision, and I said, I ain't having this. I'm sick of this. We can't always be the team that gets hurt or that has injuries. Something is wrong somewhere. When every time you play a team, the opposition finishes with 11 players and you have somebody limping off with injury. It's either the physical conditioning of your players isn't quite right. We always look the weaker physical team. We have to stop that. Chelsea weren't like that in a lot of the Abramovich era, and they have to stop allowing that to creep in. So, yes, the positive was KDH's performance. I think we have to give him that. And if he's on a development pathway, then, it's all good and well. After watching Gallagher score the opening goal, the 1 minute goal for Atletico Madrid and the performance he had, KDH was being lined up for a severe roasting from me. But he's managed to salvage that, and I keep my powder dry and wait and see what he does. But, should we be happy with what we saw on Thursday? No, not really. We're
I don't know.
playing.
I've explained why that's not a. Again, I'm not
No,
concerned.
we won. That's the most important thing.
Not
But
even before it was again, Bobby. We won, yes, and the win is a win. But after making 5 changes in the players we had on the pitch in the first half, for me, I didn't complain much. I knew he was going to make changes and we'd play better in the second half, and that happened. But I get your point. As a fan, I mean, it's frustrating to see that, but because I saw the lineup, because the moment I saw the lineup, I realized it wasn't going to be a pretty first half. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm one of the last people to put my club under any kind of pressure, even in a discussion. I don't, I believe in the power of words, and so I don't go down that road. But having said that, this is a competition that it is impressed upon us to win. We have to be going in with an eye to winning, and and we need to stamp our authority. Yes, we won home and away against Copenhagen. That's done. Forget it. Move on. Well, we've got Legia Warsaw. That is a stronger team than Copenhagen, and we've got to have players available in order to put them to bed as well. So it's not a joke, right? The business end of even this competition is at hand. Whoever we meet now is a team that will give us some sort of challenge, and we've got to put out a
Yeah,
strong
the teams
team.
are becoming stronger and stronger.
Yeah, yeah. We've got to put out a strong team ish to establish our authority. So it is what it is. We are where we are. Hopefully in Arsenal, against Arsenal, Lavia, if he can give us some minutes, he's never been able to play 90 minutes since
He's
he's
a
got to
part-time
Chelsea
player,
anyway.
like Rodrigo would say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Serious part-time player. If we can get Wesley, I don't know what we'll do about the forward line. I don't know if Neto is even able to play again
I
after
think it'd be
playing
better
90
off actually
minutes.
playing against Arsenal with a fluid front line, make it more difficult for them. Even
Possibly,
yeah,
possibly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What and Kunku will we see on the day? Um, as long as we get the defense and the midfield right, what happens up top becomes slightly easier. And you're right, the fluid attack is probably the way, because with the Sadibe and the other guy, the big
Gabriel,
centre backs, Gabriel, they're
The
fast.
Brazilian.
Yeah, they're fast, they're good on the ball, but if you're nippy and difficult to monitor, you can cause them problems.
Yeah.
I don't know how fit Neto will be. I hope he's fit because we need him. Sancho, well, these guys have to come and earn their onions now. They're athletes, and this is what happens. When you play in Europe, you sometimes play 2, 3 times a week, and you've got to get on with it. As I said, I deliberately watched Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid out of curiosity, because I haven't been watching Champions League since we're not there. I think that's about the only Champions League game I've watched for more than 2 minutes. It intrigued me. It was interesting. Real Madrid have their injury problems, especially defensively, but the squad depth is amazing. And if we're not prepared to do that at Chelsea, then what are we doing? That's my question. If we can't accept looking at our bench and seeing someone like Nkunku sitting there, or your or Felix, and be having the option to bring these people on, then we're not serious, and we shouldn't be expecting anything out of anything, because that's football. That's successful football. You have to have the players.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to give the microphone back to those in the chat. Let's hear what they have to say. And Maya is saying that I think we had a good game last night. Defended well, but our offense was, you could say, what's the language I'm looking for? But that's why it wasn't as good. But for me, I still see reasons for that, good reasons why that was the case. But I'll leave it at that. 40 people watching, 11 of those on YouTube, the rest divided definitely between X and Facebook. If you're following the show on X, please do us a favor, drop a like on the video and also follow our X account. Do the same on Facebook. But join us on YouTube. You get a chance to win $50 every month if you're a student. And Maya, the rapper here, says mismanagement for playing Enzo Caicedo when he had a young DM. We signed Amogu. I thought Amogu would play that game yesterday, actually. But the manager, I'm sure if you ask him, he'd explain that he had his reasons. It was Copenhagen, for God's sake. It doesn't matter. Football doesn't work like that. Remember, Spurs beat the crap out of Manchester City, and Man City beat us on 2 occasions this season on our turf and on their carpet. So football doesn't 1+1. You don't always get 2 as the answer. Big up to you too, Rich Amoni Mikos. Nice to see you. Reece James has been called up for England. Shocking, right? And and I blame this again. Blame who for this? Okay, I'm not sure. Copenhagen, very experienced European team, irrespective of how we measure. You can say how good they are. I think they have experience, and that's a lot. They are very good, organized defense in midfield everywhere. They have a very important attack too. But nice to see you. Here says that Tariq Judge best position is left wing and Sancho is right wing. I wish Maresca swapped them. Let's keep watching. Let's see what happens. I agree with you guys. We should be beating Copenhagen 4-0, 4-0. I don't see football that way anymore. You just cannot script this game. 6 likes. I think we should be doing a lot better than that. DJ, DJ, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning.
Big up, DJ.
Nice to see you, brother. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Is that a question from DJ? What is still in signing Giovanni Quenda, a great talent? My cousin from Portugal texted me the news this morning. What a talent. I need to watch this kid at 90 minutes. I've seen clips of him. From what I've seen, I can tell you he's explosive. He's an excellent dribbler. He has good passing range. He's also, for me, from what I've seen, he can actually operate as a 10. He has, let me just phrase it this way. He has the attributes to fulfill the number 10 role very well because he has good vision. If you make a good move, good run, he'd find you with the ball. But I need to watch him play 90 minutes. And yeah, he's explosive, good dribbler. He has something unique about him. You can say his signature dribble on the touch line where he just puts the ball down the line, hugging the line, and then runs past you. Good signing for us. Again, I know a lot of people probably don't know him that much, but because we snatched him from Manchester United, yeah, that caught their interest. Chelsea need to
Coach,
block. Go ahead.
let me just add to that if
Mhm,
people see him sit on the bench, let them not start screaming and shouting and complaining and
mhm.
all that. I just want to address this thing. I didn't know that the England team has yet been finalized. But if Reece James has been called up, then that's very bad, very unacceptable. He's still convalescing. He's not, he can't play more than a game a week. And if Thomas Tuchel can be that short-sighted, anyway, that's Tuchel all over. He flogs players till they drop.
Oh yeah.
Um,
He-
so
namely,
yeah, he
Mason
does the
Mount.
yeah, he did that to
He
Mount.
smoked him.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think that's acceptable, and I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea come in and or he himself says, "Look, he needs time," because this is just looking for trouble.
But if he has a clean bill, I don't think the club can stop him. And I'm quite sure Reece
No,
James yeah.
the club can't stop him because of the regulations, but he can stop himself. It wouldn't be the first time a player has said, "Look, I need to, get myself right." Um, and he's going to have a showing against Arsenal for sure. And this is after having a showing um, against Copenhagen. Now, is he prepared to go on the international break and play back-to-back games? I don't think it's wise at all for him. He needs time to show that he can be playing consistent 90 minutes, which he hasn't been able to do. And you want to take this guy and play him in the international break? Well, we'll see what happens. But if Reece doesn't speak up, then it means he has issues himself. He has to take care of his body to have a lot to elongate his career, not because he's feeling a little bit okay and then suddenly go and start uh, um, overdoing it and then go backwards. It's not wise, and I'll be interested to see what happens if he is called up.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not fully fit, let Chelsea block it. I'm all for that, and it makes sense. But we don't know his condition. But the fact that a few days ago he didn't train for 2 days or how many days in a row, and we heard from the manager that
Exactly.
that was because he was ill. So it wouldn't make sense for him to go join the England camp right now, in my opinion. Let's see what else we have here. Chelsea need to block. Yeah, I agree. If it isn't fully fit, or convince him to not play. I'm not sure. I think he would want to rep England again. What you all make of the Quenda deal? Happy to see Reece James record into the England squad for Quenda. I'm happy. And I know you'd be happy because yeah, your Portuguese connection, and already you told us how it was your cousin that texted you. I knew nothing. In all honesty, I'm not gonna stay here and gaslight people and tell them I knew about him before we signed him. I knew nothing about him before we signed him. Maybe I've heard about him before, but didn't pay attention. But once we signed the deal, once we closed the deal, I did the research and learned a few things about him. But I'd like to watch him play for 90 minutes. He seems the real deal. For me, if I'm going by what I've seen after watching YouTube clips of his dribbles, passing, one thing again, overall, irrespective of whether I get it, clips are just you could say um, parts of the player doing well on the pitch, but he has excellent passing range. He can be explosive. He reads the game very well. He's an excellent dribbler, so he looks the real deal. And I don't, and the fact that Amorim wanted to sign him for United, for me, that's another indicator that yeah, we've signed ourselves an excellent player. And you should see even some of those Chelsea fans that have been complaining how the club have been signing just kids, no experienced players. They are all happy we signed him. And he joins us in 2026. I'm happy, really. There's a talent there. It's a special talent from what I'm seeing. But once again, I'm going to say this. I'm just going by what I've seen from the clips of videos that I've watched. I want to see him play 90 minutes. But the signs are good. I'm happy he's been recalled, but I don't think Reece James will play. If he's recalled, if he joins the camp, he gets to play. Thomas Tuchel likes him. Last season, Chelsea blocked Reece James from playing. He went on international duty but didn't play. He only trained with the team. Did we block him from playing,
No,
or
last
wasn't he?
season
He was the one. Go ahead,
he
Bobby.
was injured. Last season he was injured and he didn't go anywhere. That's not true at all.
Hmm.
If he was able to go, if England wouldn't have a player just come and sit around in the camp, it makes no sense. He'll stay at his club and be receiving treatment. Last season he was unable to play football. Full stop. Um, this season, I don't think he will go. If he's recalled, I think that will be rescinded. It's not the first time a player has been recalled. His fitness record alone will make it be rescinded. If he plays any part against Arsenal, he's going to need recovery time. If he goes, then more fool him. I just want to talk about this Quenda guy a little bit. I don't
Yeah,
know
go ahead.
anything
I
about
was
it.
gonna I was
What's
gonna
his
bring you in to speak
physicality?
about him.
What's his physicality like, or is he another
He's
fluff?
not the biggest.
Oh, here
But
we
he's that
go.
sort of, yeah. But you know, you don't need to be Hulk. You don't need to
No,
be.
no, 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 coach. You need to be. We have too many midgets. You
Let me
need to
explain.
be.
Let me explain. I don't know how tall he is, but I can check. But from what I've
Do so.
seen, even the biggest players on the pitch are not able to stop him. So, which means he can be physical. It's just like, for instance, in the case of Estevao, you'd have 4 or 5 big players on him. He falls, gets up, still escapes them with the ball.
No, the point I'm making is that in the Premier
No, he's
League,
not. He's not a soft player. He's not a soft player,
you're
Bobby.
but in the Premier League, where physicality matters is that it's not even so much that you can beat a little player can beat a couple of the big guys on the ball and all this
Mhm.
yada yada yada. Look, when they do their low block and then they come at you with set pieces and that sort of thing. That's where we have problems. You can't have a team full of midgets. It is a problem, no matter how good they are, no matter how many skills you think they have. You've got to have some size.
Quenda is 5'8", and that's not bad.
It's not good either,
5'5",
but
in my opinion. But here's the
it's
thing.
good.
But
It's good for rotation anyway. So he can probably rotate with people like Palmer and so on. That's fine.
I'm going to tell you this. I don't think probably he can start with Palmer. He's a winger mainly. He can play as wing.
Okay.
He can play fulfill the wing back role too.
Okay.
Let's just use the term. He's an attacking player, and he can be physical. Honestly, he's not the sort of player you muscle off the ball easily, and he can only becomes as he matures, he becomes even stronger. In my opinion, I'm not concerned there. Andres Santos brings physicality and height to the midfield.
What
What's the
height?
other?
Andres Santos, isn't he 5'8" as well?
Let's check his out. But he brings physicality. He's a big boy. I can't remember his height, but I know he brings physicality. 5'11", not bad, not bad really. But I know where you're
Okay,
coming. I get
that's
where
a
you're
bit
coming from,
more
Bobby.
acceptable, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
5'11" for a midfielder is a little bit more acceptable. It's not the best. I think Premier League, I think Nottingham Forests of this world, the Evertons of this world, even to some extent, look what happened to us against Villa. you know, whether we like it or not, whether we think it's not important, when you want to when teams know when you want to play Chelsea, you look to bully them. You bring in the big boys. Now, if they don't have a counter to that, they're going to struggle. You put the ball up in the air, put the goalkeeper under pressure. There's nobody there to head it out. All these things, nobody in midfield to stop the crosses, even getting to the centre backs. You have to consider physicality, but I don't think 5'11" is that bad. I think we can work on that if he's if he's muscular built and he's not going to be pushed around. But we can't keep investing in little guys. Certainly, our striker still have physical presence. If we don't do that, then forget it.
yeah.
Stupidity.
All right, let's see what else we have here. I think we've addressed that one. And Rich Money Makers. Rich Money Maker is saying, according to my sources, Rich James will be using midfielder more than right back, but there is issue with not having much cover because of the stupid SD's decision. I agree with the Bobby SD's. They've done a lot of good. And I'm still arguing that I wouldn't keep players that push to leave. Once he gets to pushing to leave, the managers did reiterate at the time that he wants to keep them. Both. Okay. 1v1 winger, dynamic. He can play on both wings. He can also play as a right wing back. So he's an excellent addition to our squad. Still 17, so lots of probably growth is needed. Big up to you too, AB. Nice to see you. But AB says big up to you, Bobby. What else we have here? Great at tracking back too. Mariska will
Pick
love.
up,
Yeah,
baby.
that's something else I paid attention to. He tracks back effectively. So he's a good addition. And love from Nemaya forward to you, Bobby. And if you're in the comment section, if you have any questions or drop it, we'll try to address it. Otherwise, we'll be rounding off in a few minutes. So let me see if I'll get. Let's look at KDH's number. He finished. He won man of the match. The top rated player, 8.7, a goal, and could have had at least 2 assists, in my opinion. After that goal, wow, he finished the game a different player. He looked everything, creating chances, looked more confidence on the ball. I hope that's a turnaround for him. I hope
Well,
so, because I
I
know
have
there's a
to
good
agree
player
with
in
that.
there. Go ahead, Bobby.
I have to agree with that. I think the goal changed him. It was
Ooh, he
interesting to
did.
see he
Hmm.
was actually winning some balls, some 50-50s, and this is all we want. If this is the KDH, the real KDH, may he stand up and be counted. We want battlers in midfield. Yeah, technically good, which he's shown with his goal. Um, but you have to battle. You have to fight to win the right to play. This is always the principle in football. People talk yet again. I keep making reference to this game, not that I've become a Madrid fan, but you watch that Real Madrid uh um Atletico. It was a battle. It was a fight. The midfield, Rodrigo de Paul, the battle he was having in there with, even, bless him at his age, Luka Modric, Jude Bellingham. I mean, these guys were fighting. You could see it. They played themselves to a standstill physically. It was iron against iron, and the skill level was through the roof. That's what we're looking for back at Chelsea.
But Bobby, can I ask
Midfielders.
you this? I know. We're all. I didn't like the fact that we didn't bring in reinforcements after letting certain players go. But at the same time, I was a bit calm until we had 2 of our number 9s get injured in a single game. If you were the manager, Bobby, and you had
Mm,
2 players in Renato Vega and João Felix,
mm,
listen to the word push to leave. The 2-word sentence.
mm,
Push to leave. Push to leave. Joao Felix pushed to leave. Renato Vega pushed to leave.
mm.
Actually, that Chelsea got, in my opinion, what I see as Chelsea being angry at the time and telling, you know what, if you want to leave, we want to sell you on a permanent. I think probably they did maybe listen to each other, and Chelsea said, okay, only on loan, because we heard from his camp that he only wants to go out on loan to play as a centre back, probably because that's where he had the opportunity to play for Portugal on
Mhm.
former Belgium national team coach. I think and then Joao Felix, in his case, he actually, after joining AC Milan and scored on his debut, he was a very, you could say, public about his intentions to stay, to remain at Milan and never come back to Chelsea. So push to leave, that 2-word sentence for me, if I were the manager, I will let you go. Because if you force a player to stay in most cases, it leads to toxicity in the dressing room. And
Coach, I've
maybe,
stated this
yeah, go ahead.
case. I've stated this case repeatedly. I don't buy that push to leave. We have a situation where um Lavia, I don't rate Badiashile, but he was injured. Fofana, injured. Uh, Colwill, have struggling with both injury and loss of form at the time. And the manager was not even playing Renato Vega at all. He didn't get a minute anywhere. I thought that was just rank stupidity. It's not as if he was a player that will come on and cause you problems. He can only come on and help you. I've also mentioned that Jao Felix is a bit of an outlier. He's looking for somebody who's gonna love him, give him some hero worship, and that was why he made that statement at Milan, He's had problems everywhere he's been, and it doesn't surprise me too much. But even him, if he had been played and rotated adequately with Cole Palmer, and that doesn't mean much,
And
if he
you know, I
comes
agree
on
with
for
you. I agree with you on that.
exactly. So
Yeah.
this is down to the club, the manager, and the sporting directors. They have weakened the team. Cesare Casadei, he could have been played a bit more. You had no Lavia. He never let you down when he came on as a DM. It may not be his ideal position, but at least he gets him on the pitch. But the manager didn't utilize them at all. 20 minutes, 30 minutes in games in the Premier League, he could have done it. So when people start saying, oh, they pushed to leave, it doesn't mean anything when Maresca comes out and says, oh, I want you to stay. Stay for what? You haven't shown them any indication that they're anything other than just a statue. There comes a time you have to allow players a little bit of time. He even interchanged his goalkeepers, which is quite rare. Goalkeepers were both getting game time in different competitions, and even to some extent, um, um, Jorgensen was getting a sniff in the Premier League. So I don't accept it. I think that's squad mismanagement, to be honest, and I
No,
think we
I
have
do
to.
agree. I do agree with you on that. I
Mm.
think he missed a very good opportunity to create a healthy competition between João Felix, Cole Palmer, Renato Viega, and the centre backs actually. But probably because we signed Viega because we signed Vega as a left back, and he didn't get to test him that much as a centre back. I get that. So, Bobby, here's this statement. This Giovanni Quenda has played a lot this season for Sporting for a player only 17. That's impressive. I agree. So he has
Mm.
experience. Even at 17, he's played quite a lot. That Amorim wanted to sign him for Manchester United, but we did find a way to get the deal done without anybody hearing anything until here we go from Fabrizio Romano. So Bobby was signing an
Has it
experienced
had a here we
17-year-old.
go?
Yeah,
Has it
he's
had
done
a
that
here?
actually.
All
Yeah.
right.
So that
Yeah.
maybe that's the way we'll be doing our business from now on.
Well,
Honestly.
certainly in the striking for the striker, I think that sort of thing's going to happen there. Um, Look, we don't need much. We just need to, at the start of a season, and we've had this problem for a while for different reasons. At the start of the season, if you're an organized club, you pick your squad, and there should be no reason to really change much. If there's anything you do, is strengthen. If you have long-term injuries or something, then you can look to for additions. But for a club of our caliber to be offloading talent all from the defense and midfield, the areas in which we had suffered the most chronic injuries, it just reeks of rank stupidity, in my opinion. I just think it was a stupid act of the coach and the sporting directors. The coach, because he lacked the ability to efficiently utilize his squad, and the sporting directors, well, people are shouting at them, but in a way, what choice do they have when your coach isn't utilizing the players and the players are beginning to kick off? You probably do have to say, okay, we'll find a way for you to leave, in order to keep harmony and not to lose um, money like they're doing with the likes of Raheem Sterling, not really wanted, and now is a problem to sell. He's gone over to Arsenal. It's been a disaster, and it's still going to be a problem to us in the summer. So that's a Lukaku
And
2.0.
he's not gonna be in a hurry to leave.
No, because he still has, I think he has at least 2 years, 3 years left on contract. 2 years. I think he has the same length of time. as Nkunku. Nkunku has 4 years of contract left. So
But and
um,
Raheem Sterling is our top earner right now.
yeah, he is. So it's Lukaku
Whew.
2.0.
Yeah.
It's a
Bobby,
problem.
just
So they're
yeah.
very
Go ahead.
sensitive. They're very sensitive to unwanted players and losing revenue. So in some ways, you can't blame the sporting directors too much, and I think it's all down to Maresca. He needs to fix that shit. He's got to fix that thing, because now what's he doing? Playing 17-year-olds. We all like to see it, but that's not the answer, especially at this stage of the season. You do that in the beginning of the season, not now. But we don't have a choice now, so we'll see what happens. And this is why I don't want Reece James to go on international duty, coach. That guy has to regain his fitness. He's not fully fit still. And we're talking about internationals. Reece James can't play 90 minutes yet. He can't play twice in a week. It's insane to send him on international duty. It's like what we did with Lavia. Lavia, they suddenly took him to the Belgium national team. They sent him back. They said, "What's this? This guy is crocked already." It's insane. We have to. Reese himself, as the captain of Chelsea Football Club, has to turn around and tell Tuchel, look, mate, I need to get well. It's that simple. I want to come and play for my country, but I don't want to break down. Just give me a little bit more time. It's
But
not an
chances
unreasonable
are
ask.
he wants to go, because for that invitation to have been extended to him, they've reached out to him. I'm quite sure Thomas
Yeah,
Tuchel must
yeah,
have spoken to him. Um, just quickly,
it's
Bobby.
possible.
Yeah. John, 8 likes, including yours. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We have 40 people watching, but only 6 of those on YouTube. The rest is shared between X and Facebook. And John says here it's his birthday. He turns 41 today. Today you become a year wiser. Congratulations to you, John. Let's celebrate you. Happy birthday to you, brother.
Where's your birthday jingles? I thought
Happy
you have
birthday,
all that.
John.
Right. You're muted, coach.
Yeah, because I was playing the balloons and the fireworks for John's birthday. I'm not muted.
Oh, I can't see it.
Oh,
I was
okay.
wondering.
You should be. I don't know why you're not seeing it. Maybe on YouTube you can see it. So, John, happy birthday! Happy 41. Yeah. You today you become a year wiser. Thank you so much for letting us know. We always like to celebrate with our members. And once again, if you're listening, the Blue Morning Show is back. And once the show ends, it will redirect you to the Chelsea Alliance show. Even if you're not going to be there, it comes on later on today. Tubeho is it today? It is Tubeho's turn to host the show. Take a second, drop a like on the video for us. The Chelsea Alliance show is something special, comprised of up and coming Chelsea content creators who not necessarily like-minded, but we believe in free speech. You express your opinion, I express mine. If I have a counter argument, I present it. Nobody takes anything personal, but you will love it. But thank you for letting us know, John. Once again, happy birthday to you. Hi, Coach Nkunku and Palma are beefing, apparently. I suspected that was the case. Do I believe it? I don't know. But before I made the video asking the question whether it's just me, or do you guys see the same thing that I believe I'm seeing? They've had a go at each other on pitch during games, and I'm not sure why that's the case, really. But I can't just conclude that they're fighting if and you will never get an official statement from the clubs telling you that players have issues between themselves. But on the pitch, if you pay attention, if you look closely, you can sense sense it when that is the case. I hope that's not it. But despite the way, Nkunku himself, KDH created a very beautiful chance for him yesterday. I mean, some would argue that it was too high, but that was an excellent pass, in my opinion. He could have read it better and then run down a bit to be in the perfect position to chest trap it, or head it. But he's looked disinterested, in my opinion, in the absence of Nicholas Jackson. I get it. He's gotten to go for us, but that's my opinion anyway. But thank you for that. Biffin. Yeah, I knew that was what you meant to type there. It looks like Tuchel will play a back three based on selection. Chilwell and James got destroyed. They're playing wing backs. Their bodies broke down, but probably he has new players to try. John, you people saying happy birthday to you. They weren't destroyed; they were injured. You can argue a lot of running led to them getting injured. So you can say technically accurate to say they were destroyed. But I get your point there. What else do we have here? Injured on the Tuchel versus Ops and destroyed in Portuguese training session. You could argue that too. Rich Money Makers. Rich Money Makers celebrates 12 months of membership. Big up the legend Coachella, and God bless you. God bless you too, my brother. I hope you're recovering well. Again, thank you for telling us that you're going through stuff. Some of us that believe in higher power will be praying for your recovery. But thank you for letting us know. I appreciate you. If you're in the comment section and you have any questions, drop it there. We will try to address it. And if I see any question too difficult for me to answer, I pretend I don't see it. But maybe just throw it at Bobby since he's on the panel with me. But that's by the way. If you have any questions, we wait for you. Bobby, anything else you want to talk about? I'm going to go news hunting to see if anything new has emerged since the show started.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's all about having a squad fit enough to be able to do something against
Mm.
Arsenal, and watching those that go on international break. I think it would be absolutely ridiculous if we hear of Belgium taking Lavia anywhere if he shows up for 5 minutes against Chelsea. I mean, for Chelsea. And the Reece James issue still remains not great news. I just don't know. Well, I do understand what Tuchel's thinking. He doesn't care. He's just looking at the job he has at hand, and he will do what he normally does. That's flog players till they drop. But
You know why I'm laughing? Because we talked about Mason Mount's case a lot on Chelsea Perspective. When he was
yeah,
mentally tired, it was obvious that he needed a rest. Tuchel kept playing him. Why? Because, he runs a lot, and Tuchel likes him to press and press and press. Whether he misplaces 200 passes, he didn't care. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Bobby.
no, you're right. You're right, and that's why he's not in a job at Chelsea today, and he's not in a job at Bayern Munich today. You know, there's only so much of that you can do without it imploding on you. But he doesn't care. You
Mhm.
know, he's a quick minute success manager, and then the longevity is his Achilles heel because of what he does with players. Um, so yeah, you know, apart from that, I'm still wondering what, in terms of striker, we can offer. You know, the same old issue with your Nkunkus and so on. You know, we're not in the greatest of positions in terms of personnel. Um, Hopefully we can have Fafana play 90 minutes. Hopefully. Um, you know, Levi Colwell didn't play last night, but Colwell these days, you know, we're beginning to wonder how reliable he really is. Um, I don't fancy Badiashile. I think, you know, Maresca likes him because he's got a pass on him every now and then, but he misplaced a lot of passes yesterday, as he often does when he's just coming back from injury.
Mhm.
Tosin is Tosin, reliable. Nothing particularly special, but reliable enough and good
Cool-headed
physicality.
leadership.
Yeah. And Chalobah, I hope he's fit enough for Sunday. I didn't like that lying around and limping all over the place. I'm sick of it. What are these guys made of? Are they made of biscuit legs, or are they athletes? You've got to, you
Glass,
know,
maybe. That's the
yeah,
most common
after a
phrase used in
while.
the Chelsea fan base. Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of seeing Chelsea players writhing and squirming on the floor all the time, and the opposition just walking around and looking at them, thinking, "What's wrong with you now?" So let's hope he's fit. Our fitness against Arsenal is key. To be honest,
Yeah,
it's key.
I think Lavia would be available. He's been training. He's been on the grass for a while now, and probably the reason the manager hadn't played him is because he doesn't want. He just wants to make sure he'd be fit enough to play on that day. Um, but that's just my opinion anyway. Palmer not fit central, maybe outside. I mean, people argue I've seen people argue that he's better off deployed on the flanks, right wing. But Palmer is excellent centrally too. He can whatever. It doesn't matter. We do use a fluid approach anyway. The fact that he starts centrally as the number 10 doesn't mean he doesn't move to the flanks. He does that if you've been paying attention. But that's just my opinion anyway. Chelsea here is saying excited to see Santos, Kendry, and Willian in our squad next season. Rumors are that's people probably making up that because it sounds believable. Because Kendry Pies seemed to have seem to be experiencing a drop in form. So people are selling to the fan base the rumors that he'll probably go out on loan to Strasbourg. Do I think that will happen? There's no way to tell what happens, but I think he's an excellent player. He's very young, but he's experienced enough to be part of the first team squad because he's played a lot of games. Sancho Central.
I think
Sancho
he's
can actually
already
play 10.
training with the team, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. Um, yeah, very correct. Sancho can play 10. Yeah, he has the attributes. He does have the attributes to fulfill the number 10 role. Nato left wing, Sancho 10. I'd do that. Palmer right wing, and Nkunku striker. Against Arsenal, yeah, it will work, in my opinion. Let's see what else we have here. Is Mark Gui coming back when it's Jackson come? Mark Gui after the international break, according to the manager. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hated that we recalled Chalobah. It meant Josh wasn't getting minutes. Josh's performances have been on par with Chalobah's. I mean, that's debatable. Let's see what else we have here. And Alexander Courthouse say, can I say something about Legia Warsaw? They play 3-4-2-1 or 4-4-2. Probably, I'm guessing they will deploy the latter. I think we go away to them, of course. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Actually, it will be again an interesting matchup. No game is an easy game. If they've made it this far in the competition, we should take them seriously. We should play them as if we're in the final. You see how difficult it was to beat Copenhagen. It wasn't. It was never going to be easy. It was never going to be easy. I'm glad we played them. We you can say we employed a cautious approach, and it worked. And it infuriated them that we changed how we play after realizing they changed the way they often play to maybe frustrate us, hit us on the break, and get goals. So we are against Ledger Warsaw. Yeah, the moment I saw that name, I was still in Nigeria at the time. I remember Kenneth Zaiwo, a kid at the time. Zaiwo played for Rangers International and then made one debut for the Nigerian Super Eagles. I think whether the debut, can't quite remember whether the debut came before before he joined Legia Warsaw, or whether I think the debut came before that. But I don't know what happened to that guy. Yeah, Legia Warsaw, Kenneth Zaiwo, Nigeria, from Udi to be more specific, I think. represented him. He plays for Rangers International too. But that's, by the way, Bobby, anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day? It's like, yep, we have a show tomorrow also, and then we have the Arsenal match preview. All right, I think probably nothing else from Bobby. I want to say thank you to all of you for finding the time to be part of the show. Remember, you will be redirected to the Chelsea Alliance Show, aka the Blue Alliance Show, which airs every Friday, and it's Tobeho's turn to host the show today, and I'll be there. I think Ankit might be there. Tobeho will be there. I think Ty will be there also. And please drop a like on the video, even if you're not going to be there. So thank you to Chelsea for joining us. Thank you for Alexander. I like how that is spelled. Thank you to the Demonat. Who else here? Paul Mbasa. Thank you to you too, Mr. Paul. We appreciate you for finding the time to join us. Who else was here? Rich Money Makers. Big up to you. AB the Maya Forward was also here. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone's just to there, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone's just to there, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and I would have loved this storm. Every phone's just to there, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and I would have loved this storm. Every phone's just to there, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. No knock. With every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. No knock. With every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the the sky. Unity, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's shine, so they don't touch the sky. Keep the good that's flying high. Soar through every change. I can't wonder ignore. Unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines. One light up the sky. Unity we trust.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue